guys, if you're new to Deception Bytes, hit the like and subscribe button and be sure to hit the bell to be notified of future videos. If you wish to support the channel, the links are in the description below. Now, fasten your seatbelt. Here we go. Okay guys, I'm back and it is Sunday, July 14th and it's 8:03 p.m. Eastern Time and we have Q. Yes, we do. I'm a poet and yes, I know it. Now, I didn't post yesterday because I was exhausted and I needed the day off and Q had not posted, so I thought that was a very good time to take off because I know next week is going to be busy. There's just so much stuff coming out in the news, and as it is, I've probably got 2 videos worth of Q-related news on top of the Q posts. So let me see how far I get tonight. We are going to tackle the Q posts first because they are the most important, and we are going to get into it now. Now, for those of you that don't like me to chat, then please fast forward for just maybe 2 minutes. But I wanted to let you all know that my application to adopt the kitten that I fell in love with got approved, so I picked the kitten up today, and I've never seen anything like this. As soon as I brought the kitten home, both Sammy and the kitten bonded immediately and have been playing themselves silly all afternoon, and they're exhausted now and have gone off somewhere to sleep. So this is what I wanted. I wanted a playmate for Sammy so that he wouldn't be so bored. He needs a lot of stimulation because he's a very intelligent cat. This cat was already named. He's about 6 to 7 months old and already neutered and microchipped and had everything done, his wellness visit and all that. So he's good to go, and he'd already had the name Xander. Well, it's Xander, but that is very hard to say, so I don't want to change his name because he's apparently been in the shelter for a long time and everybody there loved him and they had been calling him Xander, and so he's used to his name. But if anyone has any other suggestions, I will consider them. Absolutely. I would like it to sound kind of like Xander so that at least the sound is similar to him, but whatever. I am delighted. He is just the most cuddly cat and they adore each other already. I've never seen anything like that ever, really. But that's I just wanted to share that with you all, and because I know you like to hear Sammy news, and so now you'll hear Sammy and Xander news. Anyway, and I will if he comes over here, because he doesn't mind being picked up and everything. If he comes over close, I'll pick him up and show him to you. All right, let's get started here. We left off on July 12th with the this post, try harder, nothing can stop what is coming, nothing. And that was the article, if you will remember, that they were talking about how Q made people miserable because it wrecked their relationships. And Q responded by saying, try harder. Yeah, that's pretty lame, to tell you the truth. We could come up with better than that. I know we could. There's some really smart people on this channel. I'm just saying. Not me. I'm just saying. There's some smart cookies out there. So let's get started here, and the next one is a YouTube video, and it is more coverage of a drone circling around Epstein Island, which is very interesting because I've never seen it that up close. I've seen pictures of it from afar, but this guy got up close and personal, and it's interesting because the temple there the top has been taken off it, the dome has been taken off of it, and from what I understand, the tunnels beneath it have been filled in, and well, you'll see it when it comes to it. But and Q says, these people are sick. Hunters become the hunted. Q. Now, I would say that the hunters have become the hunted when there are drones flying around this guy's island taking pictures. So yeah, people are, now that this has come out, there's a lot of eyes on it and a lot of people looking into a lot of things, including myself, and I'm hoping to get that to you within the next couple days. There's a lot of connections and everything that I'm trying to figure out. because there's a lot of names involved, and I think a lot of people are going down over this. At least I hope so, because this really is PIZZA gate. This is it. You know, everything that was discussed in that and poo-pooed and everybody was made fun of, and oh yeah, there's some big conspiracy. Well, now we're seeing that, yeah, we're not looking so stupid anymore, are we? So there you go. And now let's go to the YouTube, and I'm gonna turn this music down a little bit. This drone footage was taken in July. This July, 2019. So this is recent. If I didn't know what happened there, I would think this was a beautiful island, but I don't think it's so beautiful anymore. I don't know how hard those drones are to fly, but this guy's doing a great job. There's a sun clock, supposedly, but it has, notice there's benches all around it. Why are there benches around it? And then stones all around the circle. This originally they thought was a tennis court or something. I don't think so. And I wonder what that actually is. Because it's dug down. I don't know. If anybody has any ideas, put it in the comments below. Now this has changed substantially because this had the dome and everything on it. Not anymore. And I kind of wondered why this square was dug out there. Like there seems to be a trench, like, you know, in a rectangle, and don't know what that's for, unless drain the blood. Don't know. And you notice this bench has an E on it. And now when you look in, you just see ladders and stuff in there, like they've been doing work to take stuff down and get rid of stuff. And we know that they have filled in the island. I mean the tunnels underneath. And see, there's just ladders and stuff in there. I think someone needs to go in there with ground radar and see, although they've probably disposed of the bodies, but you know, in a way that they can't be found, because these people are very good at that. But it would be interesting to just do every inch of that place with, you know, radar. Might be surprised what we would find, but yeah, it's quite a, I mean, it's not a teeny tiny island, and I think there's all sorts of outbuildings and so forth. So, you know, I don't know. Sure has been a lot of people come and go from there. Anyway, now let's go back. And yeah, truly the hunters have become the hunted. I'm not sure how they feel about the tables being turned, but I'm sure they're not enjoying it very much. Yeah, they'll have to be taking a lot of Valium and going through a lot of Depend. Well, used to be Depends, but in this, you know, it's the Mandela effect. If you don't know what that is, look it up. You'll be astonished. Okay, now let's go up to the next one. I got to make sure that we are okay. I'm gonna go up, and just a moment here. Someone's trying to get a hold of me. My cell phone is vibrating, but you guys are more important, and I'm not taking a call. All right, so this is July 14th, and this is he's got a link to an article here, and then he says, Ghislaine Maxwell, follow the family, UK/US 1 and 2, umbrella surveillance, leapfrog 1 to 4 points of contact, open source, find 4. And there is another link here, and then he says in kill brackets, in bolded, New York Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Children. Well, we've been hearing that a few times in the last few posts, and let's go and look at the first link first, and then we will take apart what is being said here. All right, inside the Victoria's Secret pipeline to Jeffrey Epstein. This is from July 14th, 2019, so it's very timely. And let's come down here. And this is Elizabeth Ty. In 2004, Elizabetta, sorry, or maybe it's Elisabetta, I'm not sure. But she was 21-year-old Italian model with big dreams. A month after arriving in Manhattan, her booker gave her an Upper East Side address and told her he had set up a meeting with the man who would be able to get her a gig modeling for the Victoria's Secret catalog. He told me this is one of the most important people in modeling, Ty told the Post. He said that this man is in charge of Victoria's Secret and he's going to change your life. Jeffrey Epstein did end up changing Ty's life, but not in the way she expected, she said. Epstein, 66, a convicted pedophile, was arrested last week for sexually abusing dozens of minor girls at his Upper East Side mansion and his residence in Palm Beach, Florida. The arrest stems from incidents between 2002 and 2005. And I'm wondering, too, at this point, let me just interject, I'm wondering, too, why they're not mentioning his ranch. I think it's called Zorro Ranch in New Mexico. Huge private ranch. And yeah, it's been alleged that many of the same activities went on there. And why wouldn't the same activities go on there? They went on in every other place he owned. So anyway, So he was okay, and his residence in Palm Beach, Florida. The rest stems from incidents between 2002 and 2005. I rang the doorbell of this incredible mansion, and a butler answered the door, said Ty, who hails from Padova, a small town near Venice. It was astonishing. It was a very beautiful house, and I saw about 5 models walking around as soon as I walked in. I was so excited. Ty said she was greeted by a woman with short black hair who showed her into Epstein's office, and that would be Giselle. She doesn't remember the woman's name, although when the Post showed her a photograph of Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's gal pal, she confirmed that she looked like the same woman who met her at Epstein's mansion. And it's weird because I think she was described as his girlfriend, and it's always been a little odd to me that she procured so many of these underage women for him, or helped procure them at the very least. And why did she stick around? Did she love him? Because he certainly liked young underage girls. He, like older women or women his own age were not his bag at all. So anyway, she confirmed that she looked like the same woman who met her at Epstein's mansion. So this is Ghislaine Martin. Now, the British socialite, a daughter of media mogul Robert Maxwell, has not been charged with a crime, but has been accused by 3 women in court papers of recruiting young women for Epstein. 2 of them allege that both Maxwell and Epstein sexually assaulted them. Okay, well, that answers my question. She was into it as well. I did not realize that. These people really are sick. Epstein, a financier, was close friends with Ohio billionaire Leslie Wexner, and we've heard his name. We covered that a few back, and I think we're going to be seeing lots more of him from what I've been, studying and looking into. He owns the Limited brand, now L Brands, the parent company of Victoria's Secret. Wexner was so close to Epstein that both men shared ownership of the sprawling East 71st Street mansion where Ty went for the meeting. The deed was transferred in 2001 to Epstein's Virgin Island LLC. Why would someone just transfer a property of that value? The largest private home in Manhattan. It has heated sidewalks in front of it. Apparently the dogs love it in the winter. No, seriously, I'm not even making that up. I guess if I was a dog and I had to walk out, with my paws exposed, I would like a heated sidewalk too. The woman with the short hair introduced Ty to Epstein, who was dressed casually in a shirt and jeans, she said. As Epstein started to ask her questions about her background, she noticed a massage table near his desk. She didn't think anything of it and reached for her portfolio to show Epstein her previous modeling work in Italy. Ty had done a few modeling jobs in her native country, but nothing big, nothing like I imagined I could do in America, she told the Post. As Ty talked about her experience in halting English, she said Epstein moved to the massage table and began to remove his clothes. I thought she was preparing to have a massage and that someone was about to come into, I thought he was preparing to have a massage and that someone was about to come into the room and give him a massage, she said. Well, even if I did think that, I would be uncomfortable because I'd be like, why is this guy having a massage in front of me? But Ty said she panicked when Epstein laid down naked on the table and told her to approach. He then handed her a vibrator, she said. If this is shaking, it's because of Sammy. He won't sit still. He's laying there and he won't sit still. But if I try to pick him up and show you, he'll be like squirming like jello. So anyway, he handed her a vibrator, she said. I froze. She said, I didn't know what to do. I just grabbed the vibrator and threw it at his head, she said. I mean, I don't know where it landed. I just blacked out, and then I ran as fast as I could out of the room. She was so frightened she didn't know where to turn to find the front door in the massive house. At one point, she said she encountered the woman with the short black hair who grabbed her and asked her what she was doing. She told me that I couldn't just leave, said Ty. She said that this man is important, that he is a friend of President Clinton. I'd be like, I don't care. Let me out of here. Ty never told her booker what had happened at Epstein Mansion. I was too scared to tell anyone, she said. I was too shy and scared that someone would come after me to blackmail me, or maybe worse. Epstein, who was an investor in a Manhattan modeling venture, has been accused by prosecutors of using his connections to the modeling industry or to the modeling company to audition girls to give him massages that often ended up in sexual abuse. Over the years, it seems Epstein relied on the modeling business to source underage girls for sex, writes Conchita Sarnoff, an investigative reporter, in her book Trafficking. A former Manhattan-based model agent who spoke on the condition of anonymity also alleged an Epstein Victoria's Secret pimp pipeline. Epstein, portrayed himself as the back door to get a girl into Victoria's Secret. Some of those girls got in, he said. He promised the catalog at ad campaign jobs, not the supermodel fashion show gigs, he added. It was still significant cash for a young model doing the catalog, said the agent. They weren't making hundreds of thousands, but they could make about $5,000 a week modeling for the campaigns or the catalog. Not all the girls sent to him got jobs, but a lot of them did. Another Manhattan model entrepreneur told the Post that Maxwell was a constant fixture at Victoria's Secret events. I am never, ever shopping there again. There's lots of other companies that don't have these nefarious ties that you can get your lingerie at, ladies. They were always these really trashy shows full of men in the audience, she said. Ghislaine acted as the kind of Nazi guard, telling everyone that they were sitting, telling everyone where they were sitting in the audience, and that she had new Pop-Tarts, which is what she called the young models. Epstein's lawyer, Al Brands, and Maxwell's attorney did not return messages seeking comment. Ty said she was so frightened that she returned to Italy, although she did continue to take on a handful of modeling jobs. She said she never went to the police because she feared reprisals and worried that filing a report would ruin her fledgling career. Ty told the Post that she wanted to tell her story now because of the recent reports of Epstein's abuse of girls. I think it's terrible, she said. I think it's awful what he did to me and what he did to those girls. It's just not right, especially in a young girl. Her own run-in had severe consequences. It changed me for life, she said. I thought I lived in a hateful world. It was shocking to realize that if I wanted to be a model in America, I was expected to work as a prostitute. Now, I do feel sorry for that young girl. She's probably not as young now, but she was a very young girl, and she was, fresh from Italy and had stars in her eyes. She wanted to be a model, and she had modeling jobs back in Italy, and she felt she could make a better life in America. And a lot of women that model do end up in America. So I can understand, like, she was told that this is the way to get in the catalog, and she went fully expecting that, it was what they said it was. And here's this guy who is supposedly the bigwig. Okay, well now they're just slapping each other without their paws, without their nails. You're told this is the bigwig, and he's taken his clothes off and he's lying there completely naked and hands you a vibrator. Are you kidding me? Like, I don't know. What would you do? I'd do what she did. I'd throw it at his head and run out of there. And, she was new to America. Do you really think that she, at that point, trusted enough to go to the police? I wouldn't either. I know what it's like to, and I'm from Canada. I know what it's like to, all of a sudden you're in the States and everything's different. Everything. So, anyway, let's go back. Okay, so Ghislaine Maxwell follow the family. UK/US 1 and 2. Umbrella surveillance leapfrog 1 to 4 points of contact. Now, what is he talking about there? Well, he's talked about that before. Umbrella surveillance, it's when they have a warrant to spy on one person, like say they have a warrant to spy on me, they don't just spy on me. They spy on whoever I spend my time with. So, and if I have phone calls all the time to a certain person, they're going to spy on that person too. They're going to spy on your friends. They're going to spy, I don't know how far out it goes, but Q is telling us right here, it's 1 to 4 points of contact. So if you're even 4 points of contact away from Ghislaine, you're being spied on. And he's saying open source, like this is open source, find 4. And now we're going to go to the next link, and he says the New York Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Children. This, I believe, is where we're going to find, because Q is pointing us here, I think this is where we're going to find some of those connections. So let's go and look at this. No, really, let's. And here she is, the fine lady, whatever. This is Ghislaine Maxwell, and this shows who she's been seen with: Allison Jackson, Ronald O. Perlman, and that name sounds familiar to me, but I have not investigated all these connections yet. Esperanza Spalding, I've heard that name before too. Martin Asulin, Lisa Stone, Esperanza Spalding, well, it's just a different spelling than that. Ron Agam, Victoria Hervey, I've heard that name before too. And so this is, let me see here. Ghislaine Maxwell attends the 2014 ETM Education Through Music Children's Benefit Gala at Capitol on May 6, 2014 in New York City. And it says this is from the 2014 ETM Children's Benefit. This is the launch of GQ Men Celebration in New York City, 4th Annual WIE Symposium, and guests at the United States of America reception. So, and it says more. I'm not exactly sure what Q is wanting us to look at here, if it's not just the connections. So let me see here. Anything new here? I thought there was a gala here for the Society of Prevention of Cruelty to Children. This is Martin and Prosper Azuline host a book signing, and she was there. Wildlife Conservation Society, Safari India, she was there. Shizu Handbags Oscar Preview Launch Party, and she was there. Yeah. Now, I am really not sure what all they want me to look at here. If we launch the photo stream, this is all we have. Well, let's hit this next. And then we got her with all these different people. Quite the upstanding young lady, isn't she? Well, she's not that young, but yeah, upstanding citizen, I'm sure. Sarcasm, it's a wonderful thing. Sarcasm, it's what's for dinner. Okay, well, I don't see anything too gobsmacking in here, except for some names that I'm going to have to check out. But let's go back. No, really, let's get out of here and out of here. And let's go back here and over here. So, I've got a few other things that I just pasted in here. They're not from Q, but they are from the vote and the Q Research Board. Okay, so this says, it goes way back. Vanderbilt family connection to New York Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Children. And this is from Wikipedia. The New York Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Children was founded in 1874 and incorporated in 1875 as the world's first child protective agency. It is sometimes called the Gerry Society after one of its co-founders, Eldridge Thomas Gerry. On April 27th, 1875, it was incorporated as the City I'm sorry, it was incorporated as the New York Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Children, with Wright as president and Berg and Jerry as vice presidents. The other members of the ASPCA board were recruited to the board of the NYSPCC, with Wright subsequently attracting other wealthy benefactors, including Cornelius Vanderbilt. Things that make you go, Well, not really. You know, nothing surprises me, because now I'm seeing just how connected the elites really are. I really didn't think that they were all that connected, but they are. They intermarry. They're very incestuous as a group. They stick together. They marry into their own circles, and they do business amongst themselves. And marriage is more for power than for love. It's just like the royals. You know, they used to marry, you know, they would marry a spouse from France so that they could get better relations with France. It had nothing to do with love. So it's the same that I'm seeing with these elite. And they all seem to have the same dirty little secrets. And they all seem to have a nasty, nasty habit of preying on children under the guise, many times, of charity. Did you catch it? Ghislaine Maxwell has a FISA on her ASS. Ghislaine Maxwell followed the family UK/US 1 and 2 umbrella surveillance, leapfrog 1 to 4 points of contact, open source, find 4, New York Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Children, Q. And this person says, to me, this means that she's under FISA surveillance, up to 4 points of contacts in the US and UK. This means her family and close friends are under surveillance, as Q used these terms before to indicate that. The scandal will soon implicate big people in the UK as well, and I do believe that. Yeah, and I do believe that Lynn de Rothschild, Forster de Rothschild, is involved as well. So let's go on. There's certainly more digging to do on this. I am not in any way suggesting that I have all the goods on this yet, because I don't. I don't know who those 4 people are that he is referring to, but you know, we're going to find out. We're going to find out, and I'm going to bring it to you. So let's go on here. And Q says, how do you estimate a liability? Where is Epstein being held? Reconcile. Do you believe in coincidences? Powerful people connected. Powerful people connected, but of course his questions are usually statements. Panic. Q. So how do you eliminate a liability? Right? And I said that, you know, immediately after they got him. I thought, uh-oh. You know, he's got a target on his head now, because look at how many people are implicated. I mean, we've got Prince Andrew, we've got the Clintons, we've got all sorts of, there's what's the guy? Spacey, is it Kevin Spacey? Is that it? I can't remember his last name, but anyway. And all sorts of, like, Hollywood elites, all sorts of people. I mean, the list is endless. We've got, you know, the guy that is over the Limited brand, which Victoria's Secrets is part of. Actually, it's Victoria's Secret, not Secrets. But we've got a lot of big people, very, very, very wealthy people involved in this. So, yeah, if anyone is going to just die and kill themselves in prison, well, of course it won't be. It'll be like they were suicided. But, yeah, it's Epstein. I am sure there are more people that want Epstein dead than probably anyone else on earth. So, do you believe in... And then it says, where is Epstein being held? Well, I assume he's being held in New York. Now, if you guys know any different, please let me know. But I assume that he's being held in in New York. And to me, that doesn't make sense. He says, reconcile. Do you believe in coincidences? Powerful people connected? Panic. Q. So Q is saying, okay, well, they want him eliminated. There's no question about that. And there's possibly even some people in the police department implicated. I don't know, but there sure was a lot of suicides there. Now, I'm not saying that those guys were guilty of anything. I am thinking more that they were suicided to prevent them talking about what they'd seen. That's what I believe. I don't believe they were implicated in this at all. That's I could be wrong, but I don't believe so. And so do you believe in coincidences? Powerful people connected? Panic. Well, I don't know. I mean, shouldn't he? I guess it took place in New York, but it also took place in Palm Beach, and it also took place in the Virgin Islands, and it also took place on his ranch in New Mexico. So I don't know where he should be held. Some of you guys that are, and I know that we do have a few people that are experts in the law that could probably tell us where he should be held under this circumstance. And I don't know. I would think, I don't know, but I hope he's being protected by somebody, because he needs to stay alive so that he can spill, really. And you know what? There's probably a whole lot of parents that want closure. And I don't know. He's probably lost track of the amount of people killed, because it's not just him. He's inviting groups of people to the island. And these children, I don't believe 90% of them ever make it off the island. Maybe there's a few that, are favorites that they bring back and back. I don't know. But, they don't consume them. But the parents need closure. We all need closure. The whole country needs closure. It needs to come out in all its horribleness. And I know some people are not going to want to know. I don't want to know the nitty-gritty details, but I want the parents to know where their children are. I can't imagine. Now, the Great Awakening, Q. So I think in this context, we're awakening to more things than just the corruption in the government. There's corruption everywhere, and it goes right up to the upper echelons of society. And so we're awakening. Okay, you know what? We thought it was just the politicians that were corrupt. Don't think so. Not just them. So I don't know where this is all going to end, but I think it's going to end in some really high places, very high places that we weren't expecting. Now, let's go up to the next one. And this, Hugh has put this post in from Anonymous. And it's a picture of, well, let me see here, because I don't know who this is. Ghislaine, I know that, and this is a Rothschild. Don't know this guy. Let me see, who are these people? Okay, left to right. So this is Nat Rothschild. This is Nefer Suvio. This is Nick Rhodes. And this is Ghislaine Maxwell, attend the National Youth Orchestra of the United States of America reception at the Royal Albert Hall, hosted by Ronald O. Perlman in London. So that is where they are. They sure do move in high society, don't they? And these people are very, very rich. So I guess that's not a surprise, but this person is saying, here she is with a Rothschild. Well, if you're hanging out with the Rothschilds, yeah, you're well connected, very well connected. You think the Rothschilds just hang out with anyone? Yeah, no. So she's very, very well connected. Now, I don't know who this guy is, but I'd like to know, because he's very odd looking. Nick Rhodes. Don't know much about him, but I'm going to find out, and you can't stop me. And now this was an anon, and this is Q responding and saying, coincidence those mentioned in the past are now coming into the light? Think Linda Rothschild. Think Gloria Vanderbilt. Think Epstein. Think Q. Now, we are discovering, like I've pulled dozens of old magazine articles and newspaper articles on Epstein, and I'm going through those because it's listing some connections that I certainly wasn't aware of, and I don't think anyone else is because they're old connections, but they're still connections. And I want to cross-reference that with the flight log and his little black book. Now, that takes time, but it is worth the effort because it'll provide fodder for people to do more research from that. So I really feel strongly about that, and I am working on it diligently. All right, so let's go on here. And this is the next. And of course we recognize this. Excuse me for a moment. I've been burning the candle at both ends and I'm tired, so I was trying to suppress a yawn, and I apologize because I know I made a lot of you yawn the other day when I yawned. I am just absolutely exhausted, but that's not your fault. But I need to blame somebody. All right, so this is Epstein Island again, and this anon is pointing out number 1 right here, that is an entrance to a tunnel. Number 2 right here, that is an entrance to a tunnel. This, of course, oh no, it isn't. I was going to say this is the temple, but it's not. That's probably a residence. And then to the next picture, this is a close-up. This is the area I am really interested in. We have not 1, but 2 tunnel bunker entrances, one of them leading under the flagpole house. Okay, so that's what that is, a flagpole house. Why you need a house for a flagpole, I don't know. But hey, I guess flagpoles deserve houses too, right? So yeah, there's definitely tunnels under there. There's no question. Plus, it's been mentioned by Q, and we've seen on Rachel Chandler's, I guess she posted it to Instagram, where you had all the different channels, and yeah, they were doing some pretty nasty things. So let's come down here, and Q has provided, I'm sorry, it's like I keep thinking, don't yawn, don't yawn, don't yawn, and it makes me want to yawn more. I'm telling you, anyway. All right, so here's a link, and we're going to go out there in a moment, and it says, this is not another 4-year election. Drain the swamp does not simply refer to removal of those corrupt in DC. God wins. Q. Now, what he means by this is not just another 4-year election. You know, a lot of times, you know, they'll promise you the moon and the stars and everything in between, and they get in office and they're out in 4 or 8 years and nothing's really changed. Nothing. Well, this isn't just another 4-year election, and actually getting Donald Trump reelected means everything. Because do you really want what we're seeing from the Democrats? Do we want that in power? Can you imagine what our country will look like after 4 years of a Democrat in control? I mean, it was bad enough after Obama, and I remember thinking, my gosh, I'm so glad that I couldn't believe that he got elected again, to tell you the truth. And then after that, I thought, I don't know if we're going to have a country left in 4 years. And then, you know, I got some hope when Trump was announced and started actually turning things around. And I thought, my gosh, like, this man's actually doing what he said. And, you know, the thought of him, you know, leaving office and then getting someone like a Hillary in, or a Pelosi, or a Kamala, or a Cory Booker, or a Joe Biden, although he's dropped out of the election now. what would that do? We'd be right back to where we started. Because they don't, I don't know. Sometimes I think, am I living in an alternate reality? Because the things that the Democrats come out with now, I'm like, I don't get that. I really don't get that. Like, why would you say that if you're wanting to get elected? Why would you say that? Yeah, I'm going to come for your guns, man. You don't say things like that. I mean, they're not even good enough to lie. I don't know. Anyway, not that they should be lying, but, nobody says, yeah, I'm going to take all your guns, man. And then you've got Bernie saying, yeah, we're going to redistribute wealth. And if necessary, at the end of a gun, with a gun pointed at you. So yeah, then what you earn is not yours now anyway. It's especially if you're in California, it's all being taken away. Now it's being taken away. First of it was taken away to provide illegals with an education, a free education, and now they're getting free health care. And who's paying for it? The taxpayers. So the property tax goes up, all the tax goes up. Yeah, and you know what? The people, I think, have had it. They can't take any more taxation. They can't. They can't even afford to live. The people in the cities in California can't afford to live. There's so many homeless because to even get an apartment, it is, outrageous. So here is the link here. We're going to go out to that. Well, maybe we're not. Or maybe we are. There we go. All right, and this just shows you the location on the map. It's not really all that necessary, but I don't know what this is, but this shows the tunnels again, and the entrance of a tunnel here, and down here are the entrances to the tunnel, and maybe this is the flag house. I don't know. But look at this. Look at the water around here. It's absolutely beautiful. It's sad. I mean, a lot of children probably went to that island and that was the last thing they saw. And it's sad. All right. Now, let's continue on. And this is the last post. And I think I'll save that. That isn't really related to these posts, so I think I'll save that for the Q-related news. So this is the last post from today. And fake news attacks only validate the message. Old guard threatened. Think size and scope of continual MSM attacks. He's right, because there is the old guard. And the old guard feels threatened. And part of the arm of the Democratic Party is the mainstream media. There's no doubt about that. And so the enormous attacks that the right, anyone on the right, anyone conservative, and Trump himself and his administration are facing is huge. So this has to be colossal. You just think about all the effort that's going into debunk everything, and Google and all their algorithms. It's unbelievable. So anyway, I wanted to know, because he's mentioned Godfather 3 before, and I never watched the Godfather movies, so I wanted to know what Godfather 3 is, and it says it is 1979, about 22 years since the events of the Godfather 2 for Michael Corleone. The move to legitimacy is complete. The New York crime business has been handed over to Zoe Zaza, and all elements of the Corleone business empire are legal, non-criminal enterprises. Michael, approaching 60, is now thinking about his legacy. His charity, run by his daughter Mary, has just handed over $100 million to the Catholic Church. Michael also intends buying a large stake at International Immobiliari, a Vatican-run property company. Things are peaceful and stable, but then Vincent Mancini, Sonny Corleone's illegitimate son, starts a feud with Zoe Zaza, this has far-reaching deadly consequences, including for Michael's deal with the Vatican. So I don't know. I don't get anything in there that's over. Well, I guess there's some correlations there. But let's look at this from the vote board. When the mafia stopped openly fighting each other and became civil and worked together to gain power, the real mafias are Clinton family, Bush, Obama. Obama was a weather underground project. Other families are involved outside politics, like Rothschilds, Rockefeller, Morgan, and so on. All of them mafia families sitting down together at meetings like Bilderberg. They compete with each other, but they have their own international mafia government. They would all cut each other's throat if given the chance, but they also know they need each other to survive. There's a point in the movie where they start stabbing each other in the back. So obviously this person is very familiar with the movie and has made the correct correlations there, and I think that that is a very good synopsis there of how it relates. At least that's my opinion. And then it just says Rothschild loan of 36 million to the Holy See in 1832. So anyway, that is it for the Q post. I may come back to do a Q related news tonight. Now tomorrow it eases up a lot for me, so I'll be able to do a couple videos tomorrow with no problem. So I'll just see how I am, and I may come back and do Q related news, and I may not, because really I'm exhausted. So, and thank you guys so much, you guys that have you know, bought coffee for me and joined Patreon. It helps so much, and I appreciate you. I really do, and so does Sammy and Xander, because that, you know, they can eat. They like that. They like to eat. So anyway, thank you so much, and I will talk to you guys, if not later tonight, then definitely tomorrow. I'm planning on doing 2 videos tomorrow. So there you go. Have a good night. Stay safe. And keep seeking truth, because, well, why wouldn't you want the truth? Everybody wants the truth. Deception bites.